Hey guys, well, this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Any and everything I say could be wrong. Do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Thank you. Now, so I was talking about the little guy, this little guy phenomena, where we need to stand up for the little guy. And dude, I've been doing this commentary about this retarded phenomena for you know, just on YouTube, just on video platforms alone for like 8 years. That doesn't include, like, you know, all these other years prior to it where I was, you know, just out in the world, you know, like going to city councils and shit like this, talking about all this same shit. So I've been doing this for a long time. And you know, so yesterday I did a couple of videos just laughing at how stupid this whole stand up for the little guy thing is. And at the end of my last video, I concluded by saying, okay, so if you don't believe me that this is a big phenomena where it's we need to stand up for the little guy, you know, and that they're using this to try to generate attention for clicks, likes, views, all this other stuff, the stand up for the little guy. And I said, you know, okay, so tomorrow when you see the video in popular and trending, there's going to be the videos in popular and trending that's going to be about standing up for the little guy. And so I out of curiosity, I just was like, I wonder how right I am in this. You know, stand up. Am I full of shit, or is there truth in what I'm saying, that there's this whole idea of stand up for the little guy, just like Bernie Sanders was stand up for the little guy, right? And Patricia Cullors and how people claim Trump is for the little guy and all this stuff. And all these other channels, they're supposedly standing up for the little guy. You know, the Richie from Boston's and all these guys. And it's all bullshit. And all you have to do is, you know, just look at it. People refuse to look at this. So I'm going to show you here. Here we go. Watch. This is on BitChute. So I'm scrolling through BitChute. And here we go. Here we go. Stand up for the little guy. Gaza has been starving by Israel. Stand up. Gaza's the little guy. You know, we got to stand up for the little guy. Here we go again. Like, here we go again. Okay. So I scrolled. Of course, all this other shit is stand up for the little guy too. I mean, all of it is. If you watch the videos, all these people are acting like they're standing up for the little guy. That's what the whole facade is. Stand up for the little guy, you know. But this one was the obvious one, right? When it, you know, I kept scrolling because I wanted to find one where it's like obvious. And here we go. Gaza is the little guy. Stand up for Gaza. Gaza has been starving by Israel. Stand up for the little guy. You know, and I'm sure I could keep scrolling through, you know, and find other, you know, obvious ones. Well, here we go. 900,000 dead kids ignored. The bridge for Gaza. See what I mean? The little guy. Stand up for Gaza's the little guy, you know? And, you know, people will always try to dismiss what I'm saying and reduce what I'm saying to nothing, where it's like, oh, this guy, he's just crazy. And then what they do, all these people that do this, they all buy into this Gaza shit. Oh, Israel is picking on the little guy, you know. They love that stuff, you know, and if they were to ever come across my video where I'm like, dude, this is bullshit. All this stuff about standing up for the little guy, it's all bullshit. Just like Patricia Cullors and Black Lives Matter was supposedly standing up for the little guy. And it was all bullshit, and it was proven to be bullshit. Same with the Canadian truckers. It's all stand up for the little guy. And then the GoFundMe money, everybody's sending GoFundMe money to the Canadian truckers because the Canadian truckers are standing up for the little guy. It's always the same. And these people, they'll minimize, they'll be like, oh, angry hobo, this guy's just an angry hobo, and reduce what I'm saying down to nothing. But boy, they will drink that Jim Jones Kool-Aid all fucking day of how Gaza, we need to stand up for Gaza because Gaza's the little guy. And Gaza's being picked on by Israel because Israel's the 1%. And Gaza's just the little guy. We need to stand up for the little guy. It's all... See, and then this is the sleight of hand trick is like, because when I use examples, the low-hanging fruit examples are, what's his name? Bernie Sanders with his whole stand up for the little guy pitch. And because the low-hanging fruit are the liberals, all these people that think they're Nazis and far-right fascists, they think that that it's not happening on they're the good guys, They're the far right. Only those far left communists are doing that. And then these far right people are, Gaza, Israel is picking on the little guy. It's always the same, dude. And I guarantee you, just like Patricia Cullors capitalized off of all of this hype about Black Lives Matter, well, now you see all this hype about Israel, and you got all these fucking people who are gonna capitalize off of all this Jew hysteria about the Jews, just like Patricia Cullors did with all this hysteria about how the whites are oppressing the blacks. Well, now here's this is just, the same old fucking rebranded, repackaged bullshit of how the Jews are oppressing everyone else. The Jews are oppressing the whites, and so all the whites are going to stand up in a Nazi fashion, and somebody's going to run off with all the money. All these stupid people are going to start donating money to the fascist whites who are all the little guy being picked on by Israel and the Jews. Just like Black Lives Matter and Patricia Cullors. So, see, I'm just right over and over and over and over again. All of this is just we need to stand up for the little guy. Look at what's happening with Israel and Palestine. It's the little guy getting picked on again. We need to stand up for the little guy. It's the Jews. Everybody hate the Jews because it's a righteous movement. If we hate the Jews, that's us standing up for the little guy. So hating the Jews is standing up for the little guy. And even if this were true at all, even if this was true, that Palestine and Gaza are the little guys, and everybody, look, Israel's picking on the little guy. We need to hate Israel and the Jews because they're picking on the little guy. Even if that were true, well, what's funny is again, going back to what I was saying yesterday, how come the homeless have never met this little guy criteria, this little guy club criteria, If all these people really cared about the little guy, they would have been standing up for the homeless years before this shit started happening with Israel and Palestine and Gaza, because that's what they do. They're not going to do anything when it's happening here. But if it starts happening in a fucking galaxy far, far away on the other side of the world, over where Israel and Palestine is, then everybody's going to be like getting up and chanting and putting out videos of the Gaza's the little guy and Israel's picking on the little guy. But when it's happening here, oh my God, like it is gross, overt, brazen ignorance on all these same people. They force themselves to ignore that it's happening here all the time. 24/7, and then they're all just waiting for something to happen way over on the other side of the world so that they can all stand up and act like they care and look like they actually care about the little guy, you know. And you know, the funny thing is, the 1%ers and the people at the top, they see all of this. Like, they understand it better than you or I, and they laugh their asses off. They are laughing at how stupid, you know, your average person is. Because the little guy phenomena is happening here all the time. And the 1%ers are watching all of this go down and watching how nobody cares about the little guy thing happening here. And then as an experiment, the 1% will say, watch this. Now we'll do a little guy phenomena thing that's happening in a galaxy far, far away, and watch all these apathetic, brain-dead zombies. You know, watch, they're all gonna act like we need to stand up for Gaza. We need to stand against Israel. What? And it's every time, without fail. Like, the people are so predictable. They always do this all day, every day, decade after decade. And these 1%ers, they are just laughing their asses off, you know, orchestrating all of this and watching them. And it's all like, you know, if I can see it and I'm just some bum that lives in an 8-foot by 11-foot trailer, and I'm shitting in a bucket and stuff, and I can see it, I can 1001% guarantee you that the 1%ers, or whatever the fuck you want to call them, they can see it way more clearly than I can. And if I find it hilarious, I guarantee you they are laughing themselves into tears at how stupid all you people are that are like, Gaza, Israel and Palestine, it's the Jews, stand up for the little guy, you know, because they're laughing at you because, dude, you have all of this fucked up shit going on in your own towns, cities, counties, states, and country. Like, just like using the fucking homeless Americans as a barometer. You don't care about the little guy at all, and it's totally obvious. The majority will trample the little guy to get to to get to Black Friday, to get to Walmart on Black Friday. And all those same people that will trample the little guy in their own country to get to, Walmart on Black Friday are the same ones that go out chanting of how Israel and Palestine victims, Gaza are the victims being picked on. We stand up for the little guy. And and I'm telling you, if I'm seeing this and laughing at how fucking stupid, like totally dumb it is, I guarantee you, these 1%ers or whatever you want to call them, they have way more resources to be able to monitor all of this. And I guarantee you, they are laughing themselves to tears. And it never gets old because the people fall for it over and over and over and over and over and over, and it's never ends. And then I'll go on BitChute and I'll see all these people they always referencing the Jews in Israel and Gaza and Palestine, the Jews, and how Nazism is great and Hitler was awesome and blah, and it's so fucking retarded, dude. But yeah, so I told yesterday at the end of my last video, when I'm talking about the little guy club criteria. Who meets the little guy? Well, obviously, Gaza meets the little guy club criteria, right? They're being picked on by Israel. All the baby's body parts are just flying all over the place in Gaza. But, like, how do you know? Because Richie from Boston took a clip about Gaza off of mainstream media news and posted it to his channel and then did commentary on it. Therefore, it must be true because you saw it on Alt and New Tech. Or maybe it wasn't Richie from Boston, it was Stu Peters. What's the difference? You know, tomato, bro. Or Dustin Nemos. Or, you know, how do you don't know what's going on in Israel and Gaza? Just like you don't know anything that's going on outside of your own community. That's why that old saying, you know, that age-old saying, think globally, act locally. Like, you're not going to know for sure what's going on the other side of the world. But if the news is that the big guy is picking on the little guy in Israel, way over there in Israel and Palestine, you know, you can go out into your own community and look and see, I wonder if the big guy is picking on the little guy here in, you know, Alabama, where I live. And I can look around and be like, whoa, I see a lot of homeless people over there in that one area. And here come the cops. And they're harassing an elderly homeless woman, and they're taking her shopping cart. Now they're arresting her. Yeah. I can look around like, where is it? Act locally, dumb fucks. If the little guy is getting picked on way over in a galaxy far, far away, well, you don't know for sure what's going on, but you're hearing the news. But one way to corroborate, you know, is this empirical evidence. Start looking around you. Is the little guy getting picked on in your area? You know? And if you look around, you're going to see homeless fucking bums in destitute poverty. I mean destitute. Like, it's obvious that they are, like, fucked. And if you start observing them, you're going to see the cops are going to be stopping them and talking them, and then sometimes tension builds and they're getting arrested. Right? Look, the cops are Johnny on the spot when you're not wearing your seatbelt, right? A lot of times. But when there's real crime, the cops are nowhere to be found. But they are Johnny on the spot if your blinker is out or you don't have your seatbelt on. They're Johnny on the spot. Well, look at how Johnny on the spot the cops are when they see a homeless person. Oh, they're immediately going to police some crime because that's a homeless person. There must be crime there, right? Just like they're Johnny on the spot when you're not wearing a seatbelt. It's the same thing. But when there's real crime, you know, they're never anywhere to be found. The little guy. I'm telling you, we need to stand up for the little guy is all over the place. And I just showed you an example, a low-hanging fruit, obvious example of Gaza's getting picked on. You know, look at Israel is picking on Gaza. Like, come on, you guys. To act like that what I'm talking about isn't real. I mean, it's everywhere all the time. And it's so fucking fake. And so just observe this. And then observe how everybody's saying it's the Jews all the time. They're always, like, in the comment section, all these people get, oh, it's the fucking Jews, you fucking stupid fucking poopy poo 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 poo. And they're all over the place. But that's not an astroturfed, psyop, fake fucking retarded thing. No. No. And neither was Black Lives Matter and Patricia of Colors and all that, right?